Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates In Space, lays foundation stone for multiple projects in Gujarat. Indo-Bangla passenger bus services resume today. Chief Minister launches brand Money Fresh and cultivation of alternate horticulture crop scheme. Meghalaya cabinet takes key decisions including setting up of veterinary, dairy and fishery college. And India Meteorological Department forecast heavy rainfall over Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura from 12th to 14th June. Good evening viewers, welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin. This is Jolly Khoikia Gogoi bringing to you the stories in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated and reviewed the headquarters of the Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Centre in Space at Bhopal, Ahmedabad today. Modi said that space tech will bring in a great revolution in the 21st century and that space tech will not only be used in space but will have a relevant importance in our personal space too. He further said that every citizen of the country comes together during any space mission. A testimony of this fact is the mission Chandrayaan.
Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center यानी इन स्पेस के हेडक्वार्टर के लिए सभी देशवासियों को और विशेष करके साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी को मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। आजकल हम देखते हैं कि सोशल मीडिया पर युवाओं को कुछ एक्साइटिंग या इंटरेस्टिंग पोस्ट करना होता है तो उससे पहले वो अलर्ट करते हैं और अलर्ट में मैसेजिंग करते हैं वॉच दिस स्पेस।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today inaugurated and laid the foundation stone of multiple development initiatives of over 3,000 crore rupees in Gujarat. This includes the inauguration of 7 projects, foundation stone laying for 12 projects and Bhumi Pujan for 14 projects. Addressing a gathering during Gujarat Gaurav Abhiyan at Khudville, a tribal region in Navsari, the Prime Minister said that these projects will bring ease of living to Surat, Navsari, Valsad and Tapi districts of the state. These projects will help in improving the water supply in the region along with boosting connectivity, added Modi. He further asserted that the children of the tribal communities should get all the possible opportunities. Modi said education in the mother tongue, even for technical courses like medical and engineering, will open greater chances for the OBC and tribal children.
तब तो वो सुविधा रोजगार के नए अवसरों से जोड़ेंगे। इन सारी विकास योजनाओं के लिए मैं आज इस क्षेत्र मेरे सभी भाई बहनों को और पूरे गुजरात को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। भाइयों और बहनों, 8 साल पहले आपने अनेक अनेक आशीर्वाद दे करके बहुत सारी उम्मीदों के साथ मुझे राष्ट्र सेवा की अपनी भूमिका को विस्तार देने के लिए आपने मुझे दिल्ली भेजा था।
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh visited the training institutions of Vietnam on the final of his 3-day visit today to the Southeast Asian country. Singh is in Vietnam to enhance defense cooperation between the two countries. The minister began the day's engagements by paying a visit to the Air Force Officers Training School at Nha Trang. He handed over a gift of $1 million on behalf of the Indian government for establishment of a language and IT laboratory in the school. Thereafter, addressing the officers at the school, he expressed hope that the laboratory would substantially contribute to sharpen the language and IT skills of air defense and Air Force personnel of Vietnam. Meanwhile, later in the day, Singh visited the Telecommunications University in Nha Trang, where an army software park is being established with $5 million grant from the Government of India. In a positive development for both the countries, the passenger bus services between Bangladesh and India was resumed today with the flagging off the bus from Dhaka to Kolkata. The flagging off marked the opening of the bus services through the Akhaura, Agartala and Benapol Haridaspur integrated checkposts between the two countries. The opening of the bus services comes less than 2 weeks after the passenger train service between the two countries was started on May 29 with the flagging off of the Maitri Express and Bandhan Express trains. A new bi-weekly train named Mitali Express was also flagged off between New Jalpaiguri and Dhaka by the railway ministers of both the nations on 1st June. Meanwhile, High Commission of India in Dhaka, through a tweet, said that the bus services through the Dauki-Tamabil ICP will start after the necessary clearances are obtained between the two countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosted a delegation of women students from Nagaland at his residence in Lok Kalyan Marg yesterday. The delegation is visiting Delhi as part of Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat initiative. In a free-willing interaction, they discussed and sought views of the Prime Minister on a host of topics like his vision for Northeast, his experiences in Nagaland, and importance of yoga. Meanwhile, during the interaction, the Prime Minister inquired the students about their experience in the capital and exploring various tourist places in Delhi. He also advised them to visit the Prime Minister Sangrahalaya and the National War Memorial. The meeting of the delegation with the Prime Minister was organized by the National Commission for Women. Union Minister of State for External Affairs and Education, Dr. R.K. Ranjan Singh, is on a 2-day visit to East Jaintia Hills district. He arrived at Cleary-Hut yesterday to review implementation of different central schemes. The minister visited the Health and Wellness Center at Dakia West, which is under the scheme Ayushman Bharat, Fair Price Shop at Bindiati, which is under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, Anganwadi Center at Tubar under the scheme Poshan Abhiyan and MGNREGS. Thereafter, the minister also visited the West Jaintia Hills district, Shangpung, to meet beneficiaries with regard to Lakadong turmeric. He interacted with the beneficiaries to know the benefits and problems faced by them and took stock of the implementation of various central sponsored schemes at a ground level. Mizoram Governor Hari Babu Kambhampati visited the Counterinsurgency and Jungle Warfare School and the camp at Ground Zero manned by CRPF personnel. He further visited the beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana at their homes. The governor inspected the houses constructed under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana and interacted with the owners. At the Information and Research Center, CIJWS, the governor was briefed on the importance of the institution and how the school is being run with the maintenance of the highest standard. In honor of the governor, the CIJWS commandos also demonstrated rescue operations in terror attack scenarios. Meanwhile, at Ground Zero, the governor reminded the Jawans of the utmost importance of maintaining neutrality and urged them to keep up their high standards while discharging their duties. In a recent development, Justice Lanusungkhum Jamir, Judge of Manipur High Court, today assumed charge as the Judge of the Guwahati High Court. The oath was administered by Justice N. Koteshwar Singh, Acting Chief Justice, Guwahati High Court. Meanwhile, Justice Manas Ranjan Pathak, Justice Michael Zothangkhoma, along with other high officials, were present at the swearing-in ceremony.
Judge Manipur High Court, having been transferred as Judge of Gujarat High Court, High Court of Assam, Naga, Mizoram, and Arunachal Pradesh, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as I was established, that I will uphold the
As a follow-up to the war on drugs, Manipur launched the cultivation of horticulture crop as an alternative to poppy plantation in hill areas scheme. The scheme aims to provide financial assistance, farm inputs and marketing assistance to the farmers for producing these alternative crops. Manipur Chief Minister Narendra Singh launched the brand Manifresh, under which organic produce from the hills will be marketed. Meanwhile, the Chief Minister took to his Twitter handle and informed that a sum of 4 crore rupees has been sanctioned for the scheme and that in the last few years, nearly 6,600 acres of poppy plantations have been destroyed. The Meghalaya cabinet has decided to set up a veterinary, dairy and fisheries college in the state. The veterinary and dairy colleges will be set up in Kirdemkulai and Ribhoi district, while the fisheries college will be set up in Garo Hills district. Taking to his Twitter handle, Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma further informed that the cabinet has also approved the amendment to the Meghalaya District Courts Ministerial Service Rules 2020. This will enable the district courts to employ and conduct interviews at the district level instead of them being conducted by the High Court. With the recent changes in the climate and incessant rainfall creating havoc in the northeast region, the India Meteorological Department has forecast that under the influence of strong southwesterly winds from Bay of Bengal to northeast and adjoining East India in lower tropospheric levels, isolated heavy to very heavy rainfall is likely over Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Sub-Himalayan, West Bengal and Sikkim during the next 5 days. Heavy rainfall over Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura during 12 to 14 June is expected, while isolated extremely heavy rainfall is likely over Assam and Meghalaya during 11 to 14th June. Meanwhile, in Meghalaya, heavy rain-induced landslides have created havoc in the Garo Hills areas where 4 persons were killed. The administrative machinery in the southwest Garo Hills district has swung into action by launching rescue and relief operations. According to the superintendent of police, 3 members of a family, a mother and her 2 children, were killed in a landslide that occurred in the Jawalgre village under the Gambegre block region of West Garo Hills. Meanwhile, in another incident at Samati village under Beta Singh, southwest Garo Hills, a 2.5-year-old died when their house was destroyed in a landslide. Deputy Commissioner of Southwest Garo Hills, S.K. Marak, has informed BDO and other officials to assess the situation and take necessary action. To commemorate the 8th International Yoga Day celebration, 44 Assam Rifles under the aegis of Headquarter 22 Sector Assam Rifles, in collaboration with the villagers and volunteers, organized a yoga session in Gorkha Tapan village of Twaichong, Kipi district today. The event was organized to emphasize on ways and means to improve the overall lifestyle of the villagers and role of yoga in combating various diseases. The theme for the event was Yoga Healing Mind and Body. A total of 170 villagers, including 120 students of Gorkha Tapan Middle School, participated in the session. A similar event, We There, We Care, was organized by a unit at Tamenglong for the ex-servicemen of the district. Participants were briefed about the essence of yogic exercises on the health of individuals and thereafter held a practice session with demonstration of various asanas. Now, before we end the news, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates In Space, also lays foundation stone for multiple projects in Gujarat. Indo-Bangla passenger bus services resume today. Manipur Chief Minister launches brand Manifresh and cultivation of alternate horticulture crop scheme. Meghalaya cabinet takes key decisions including setting up of veterinary, dairy and fishery college. And India Meteorological Department forecast heavy rainfall in Naga, Mizoram and Tripura from 12th to 14th June. And that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.